It's Monday morning, you make a coffee, open last week's marketing report and press make a copy. Google Ads exports successfully, Meta has changed field names, HubSpot export is missing columns entirely, the spreadsheet just says #error. And someone in the leadership channel has asked, can we add a breakdown by region before the 10 a.m. meeting? It's currently 9:42 a.m. If this is what you call business as usual, then you're in for a treat, because today we're going to look at why weekly marketing reporting takes so long, which parts can actually be automated, and why buying another SaaS tool isn't the answer. When people talk about automating reporting, they usually focus on the visible part, the charts, the dashboard, the slide with the green arrow that tells management everything is definitely under control. But the chart itself isn't what's taken so long. The time goes into finding the data, exporting it, cleaning it, combining it, checking it, and trying to understand why two systems disagree about how many leads you generated. The report is just the final 10% of the process. The other 90% is an unofficial data pipeline being operated manually by someone in marketing, and that someone may currently be you. A weekly marketing report normally contains at least 5 separate jobs. First, you collect the data. That could mean logging into Google Ads, Meta, LinkedIn, HubSpot, Salesforce, GA4, and whatever platform was purchased during the quarter when everybody became obsessed with intent data. Each platform has its own interface, export format, and opinion about what a conversion is. Next, you clean it. Dates arrive in different formats. Campaign names contain spelling variations. Costs use different currencies. One system says United Kingdom, another says GB, and the third is UK and Ireland. Then you align it. A campaign in an advertising platform needs to match a campaign in the CRM. A lead source needs to map to a channel. A sales region needs to match a marketing region. This is often handled by lookup tables with names such as do not delete. Then you calculate the metrics. Spend divided by leads gives you cost per lead, unless some of those leads are test records. Revenue divided by spend gives you return on ad spend, unless marketing and finance use different revenue dates, currencies, or attribution rules. The arithmetic is easy. Agreeing on what belongs in the arithmetic is where civilization begins to collapse. Finally, you validate everything. Did all the platforms refresh? Did yesterday's data arrive? Did a campaign suddenly generate zero spend, or did the connector fail? Does the total approximately match the platform interface? And can you explain the difference without opening 12 browser tabs during the meeting? These 5 jobs are why a simple weekly report can consume half a day. The process usually begins innocently. One advertising platform, one spreadsheet, one person who understands the formulas. Then the company grows. You add more channels, markets, products, and reporting requirements. The spreadsheet grows 3 new tabs every month. Business logic gets copied into formulas, dashboards, and slide decks. And eventually the process depends on a collection of undocumented decisions held together by one marketing analyst's memory. This creates 3 problems. First, every new reporting request creates more manual work. Second, changes become risky because nobody knows which formula is feeding which chart. And third, the person who understands the process becomes impossible to replace, promote, or allow anywhere near annual leave. Don't get me wrong, the spreadsheet might be great. The bigger issue is that the spreadsheet has become infrastructure, but it just wasn't designed, documented, or maintained like infrastructure. At this point, organizations often buy a SaaS tool or dashboarding tool, and dashboards are useful. Studio, Power BI, Tableau, and similar tools can make information easier to explore and distribute, but a dashboard visualizes the data it receives. It doesn't automatically resolve conflicting definitions, repair missing campaign mappings, or decide whether finance revenue should be based on invoice date or payment date. The next option is a marketing data connector. Tools such as Supermetrics, Funnel, or Fivetran can be extremely useful because they remove the need to export files manually. For a relatively simple reporting setup, that may be all you need, but moving data is only one of the 5 jobs. The data still needs to be cleaned, organized, matched, tested, and converted into metrics your business actually understands. You should also consider what happens as the number of data sources refreshes and users increases. How is pricing calculated? Where is the transformed data stored? Can you move away later? And how much of your reporting logic exists inside a particular vendor's platform? That's not to say you should avoid the software, but to avoid solving one form of dependency by creating another. A reliable weekly reporting process starts before the dashboard. You first collect the platform data automatically, then you clean and organize it into consistent structures. You define the relationships between campaigns, leads, opportunities, and revenue. You document how each important metric is calculated. You test whether the expected data arrived, and only then do you send it into dashboards, spreadsheets, or presentations. This creates reusable marketing data. Instead of rebuilding the same logic every Monday, the logic runs automatically and produces an updated reporting dataset. The dashboard becomes one output, a Google Sheet could be another. You could also use the same foundation for campaign analysis, forecasting, or an AI assistant that understands your company's definitions. The important part is that those outputs are built on the same governed data rather than recreating the logic separately each time. Not every team needs a custom marketing data platform. When you have a small number of sources, simple metrics, and stable reporting requirements, a spreadsheet plus a connector may be completely appropriate. Don't build a miniature data warehouse because you have 2 CSV files. The solution should match the problem. Here's a quick test for your weekly reporting process. Is platform data collected automatically? Are campaign, channel, region, and product names standardized before they reach the report? Does each important metric have one documented definition? Are those definitions reused across dashboards and spreadsheets? Are missing data and failed refreshes detected automatically? Can somebody other than the original creator understand how the process works? Can you change the dashboard or data tool without rebuilding everything from zero? Does your organization own the underlying data, logic, and documentation? If you answered no to several of these questions, your reporting problem probably will not be fixed by redesigning the dashboard. You need to improve the foundation underneath it. But before buying anything, map your current process. List every source, manual step, formula, definition, and quality check between the platform and the final report. And that exercise will usually reveal exactly why reporting takes so long and which part is worth fixing first. There's a reporting process checklist linked below that you can use to assess your current setup. And when you're ready for a second opinion, you can share the completed version with us. We will help you identify whether you need a simple connector, a better internal process, or a more complete marketing data foundation.